Hey there, toy collector friends and Doctor Who fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that is the time-travelling toy collector, and today we are looking at another entry into the Doctor Who The Collection range. This time it's the Sixth Doctor's second full and final, sadly, televised serial, season 23. As those of you who are familiar with the channel will be aware, I'm currently working through the Doctor Who The Collection in the chronological order of those that have been released, before then moving into the Steelbook range that picked up with New Who back in 2005, and infilling along the way, having already done all of the first of every Doctor that we currently have. At the moment, at time of recording this, I only have one other The Collection box set in my hands that is yet to be aired, and from then on I'll just be waiting for new releases as they come out. There's no news. Here we are in the back end of April 2025, and there's no new announcements for the next Doctor Who collection set, so we are all eagerly awaiting to find out what that is. But in the here and the now, we're going to have a look at this isn't a review of the season. It is an appreciation and a sort of tour of this limited edition Blu-ray box set. It is the deluxe edition, not the standard edition. So if you are ever thinking of collecting them, or you want to know whether it's bang for your buck, hopefully this video and those like it will give you all the information you need to make those informed decisions. Before I kick off, if you could just drop a like for the video, that would be great. And also what would be super helpful is a completely free subscription to the channel. If you could click that, that would be amazing, because it really helps me get to my next subscriber milestone. So that's my pitiful bid before I kick off with the video. If you can, that would be fantastic. It really helps boost me and my battle against the evil algorithm. But if not, I'm just glad you're here for the ride. Talking about the ride, here it is. It is season 23. And as ever, we see a box that has some fantastic artwork on the front. It still has the dust cover on it. I always keep the dust covers on them because I think it gives extra protection when it's on the shelf, which is what I like. You can see there the artwork is replicated on the side, Doctor Who The Collection season 23. What is brilliant is, despite changing showrunners, despite changing branding teams, despite changing logos, this season has kept its original logos. That's why I'm still using my old logo for all of the classic collection, for continuity's sake, for those people who want to look at the videos in order one day. If that day ever comes, hopefully it will do when we've got them all released. That would be amazing. So here we can see the blurb, more beautiful artwork. Oh, spoilers, Perry's having a bad hair day there. Of course, this is the season, I think the only other season where, in the classic season series, where we had a series long arc of this nature was, I think, The Key to Time, really. And even that wasn't quite the same sense as this. But this, of course, is all 14 episodes of the season, is essentially the Trial of a Time Lord story, and there's all the information you want. As you can see, this is all the brand new stuff that we get with this collection, as well as everything that was previously released on the DVD releases. So when people say, is it value for money? I don't think so. I think it's double dipping. I always have to say it's technically not double dipping, because there's so much new stuff here. You get all of the old stuff, so much new stuff here. And to be honest, this might be the only way new fans of Doctor Who and new fans of Classic Who can access some of the wonder of the original series. Yes, it streams all over the place on various platforms, but it doesn't have the upgraded version of the picture. It doesn't have all the new features, or indeed the old features. So for me, I think that alone really makes it value for money. But of course, we also do have the loving care that goes into the production of the box and the set, and that's where we're going to focus now. So let's remove the Trust Me dust jacket, which I'll cast aside, and there we get a lovely untempered a view of that box art with all of the season, I say villains, the Inquisitors there, so villain-esque, I suppose. Certainly if you listen to the Gallifrey box sets from Big Finish, there's more to her than we see in the TV series, and I absolutely recommend you getting those if you don't already have them. So season 23, and here we have on the back the great big space station and the TARDIS being pulled in. Always love the wonderful artwork on these boxes. We go on to the interior, and again, as ever, it's just occurred to me that I haven't necessarily checked that I've put all the discs the right way up, and obviously I haven't, but you can see there each of the discs, wow, amazingly not the right way up, do have their own individual artwork, which I always think is important to flag out, because so often, you know, you come across discs where it's just the same sort of set sticker that's put on all of them. But that's not the case with these. We always get our own unique take on it. And here we have the interior art, which is the Doctor. I think that's from Mind Warp, I think, which is the third segment of the serial. So there we have the Sixth Doctor, as played by Colin Baker, and the TARDIS. Again, as ever, we have a Velcro. Again, it's beautiful imagery. We have the Velcro slot running alongside where the TARDIS doors are. We can open that up to a courtroom scene, and that's the courtroom scene we saw, I think, on the dust cover with poor old Perry. We open all of it up, so it should reveal the same artwork on the booklet, and it does. So there is our booklet, which I'll come back to in a second. And then we should have, as ever, a pretty good shot of the TARDIS interior, and we absolutely do. Again, another beautiful shot of the Sixth Doctor's TARDIS console room. So again, absolutely lovely artwork, left, right and centre in these. We always get excellent artwork. So here's the front cover of that little booklet that we get. And there's one of the sort of publicity photos of Colin Baker that he would sign his signature on, his autographs on. Now, again, I always sort of do a little take walkthrough of this, because there is just so much in here. And again, some of it may be reproduced from Doctor Who magazine or other publications, but some of it will be fresh and original. Obviously, the contents of all of the discs are here, but we always get some development information about the serials. We get some behind the scenes photos. We get some fresh perspectives on the recording and the filming. And it's really, you know, I know I sort of harp on about it in every one of these videos, so you can probably just roll your eyes and go, here he goes again. But I do think, again, the added value of what we get here is so significant. You know, I really think it's so significant, because there's a lot here to really immerse yourself in. And for new fans who didn't have anything like this, I think it's because when we were growing up, I was lucky enough to be able to have some of the VHSs, but there was only some VHSs. Then there was the move to the DVDs, and again, the DVDs were a bit hit and miss. Don't get me wrong, for the time they were great. There's just so much. You see, I'm waffling on here, but we haven't reached the end of the booklet. So yeah, I'm not going to go through every page because I've been going through every page, but there's some glorious shots here, the master, as I bash the camera. But yeah, so I'm going to pop that back in there, lock it all away nice and securely. We'll take a little moment just to look at that piece of artwork, because I do think it's absolutely beautiful. And yes, so season 23, one of Doctor Who's slightly anomalous ones, in terms of it being a season-long story. In recent years, we've had it with Flux, I suppose, but that was a bit of a necessity situation, I think, due to the COVID conundrum. And we had the Tom Baker serial, The Key to Time, that spread across the entirety of a season, and each of those stories contributed to that overarching plot. I can't think of any other seasons in Doctor Who really where that's happened. If you can, and I'm missing it and I'm being a bad fan, do please let me know in the comments down below. Similarly, let me know if you're a fan of this collection. Are you looking forward to the next release? Do you know what you're going to put your money on in terms of what will it be? I think the world and its mother is praying for a second Doctor release, because we've got so many out now, and we haven't had a single second Doctor box set. And I appreciate the nuances of that. I appreciate the difficulties in getting a box set out. I am really pleased to see much more of the animations being released, because that's telling me that those animations will then be available in those future box sets where we have missing stories, etc. And I also hope, where we've seen those colorations done recently as part of the celebratory the celebration of Doctor Who, we had it with the Daleks, and we also have had it recently with the War Games. We may have it with others in the future. I know it's not to everybody's taste, but just as an experiment and as another celebratory element of Doctor Who, I think it's a great thing to have, even if we take it as in its own little bubble pocket universe, and we go, actually, yeah, it's a bit different because it's cut down and it's slightly the edit maybe tells us a slightly different version of the story. Well, that's just great. You know, I think that's it's something nice to have, rather than something that we should just be moaning about, because I just think it's a lovely addition. They don't have to do it, and they're showing some classic stories, some love that might just hook some of those new people into that black and white era. For me, I've always been a fan of black and white films, black and white TV, because I love watching the development and the evolution of cinematography, of effects, of storytelling, and all that started in black and white. You know, that is where it is. And some people go, oh, the pacing is dull, the pacing is boring. The pacing is what it was at a time when no one had, you know, TV was new, film was relatively new. The accessibility of the cinema is relatively new. So, you know, I think it's a wonderful historical time capsule in its own right, that they're able to take the black and white originals and colorize them and make them in a slightly downsized but super jumping on point for people who might never touch black and white, because they go, oh, it's not for me. But then to see it in colour, like, oh, okay, maybe I'll dip my toe in that. But you may have your own views on that, and that's, of course, the beauty of being you. You're entitled to have your own views. And again, there might be some directions that I wasn't a fan of, that they took some of those things in, but I just treat it as a standalone entity and don't try and weave it into canon. I just enjoy it for what it is, because I think that's probably healthier overall. Anyway, I've digressed into seasons we haven't even seen yet. This is season 23. I nearly lost myself there. This is season 23 of the classic series. Colin Baker, rather, in his element as the Sixth Doctor, fighting for both his own and the seasons and the ongoing seasons' lives, all encapsulated in a single series. I really enjoy this. I really enjoy the whole collection, actually, so far. But I really enjoyed this particular season. It was at the pinnacle of my awareness of Doctor Who, as I was in my, I think I was in my early teenage years at this point. So yeah, I was very aware of Doctor Who properly, as opposed to it being sort of vague memory of a Saturday, which was the case with some of the Tom Baker stories that I saw. But absolutely love it. I hope people are behind this collection. I think they are. I think the sense I get from messages and from comments, both here and on Instagram and on X, I think people are behind this, the Doctor Who collection. And it's great because, again, by purchasing them, we secure the future of them. And I do think it has to be said to be, until we suddenly have sort of vidi discs that will give us the whole thing in immersive, three-dimensional simulation that we can bed ourselves in. I think somewhere in the future, the next time they revisit all of this, I think this is going to be the pinnacle of their remastering and love and support for the Doctor. Anyway, you've been a fantastic audience. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and it just remains for me to say a very big thank you for sticking with me, and I hope to see you in a future, or indeed a past, video. Take care. Bye bye for now.